Right then, this is a quick walk around video for an absolutely stunning Lexus CT200F Sport. Really is gorgeous. One of the first of the facelift models, finished in white with the black roof and top of the rear spoiler in black as well. Comes with a full rose red leather interior, just 62,000 miles from new, and a really lovely example. Front of the car, new style front end, looks absolutely fantastic on the cars. Lights and lenses are clear and intact. Bonnet, really good. These stone chips will be absolutely minuscule. Near side, passenger side, beautifully smooth on the panels, no obvious indentations there at all. Near side front alloy, very good. Just any marks, again, absolutely minor. Rear alloy, no obvious marks sort of jumping out at me at all. Supposed to be getting wind's picking up a little bit this morning. You come around the back, yeah, looks fantastic. The sort of diffuser at the bottom there, all very clean. There you can see the black roof, which looks absolutely fantastic on the car. Offside, driver's side, again, lovely and smooth in the panel work. Side of the rear alloy, absolutely superb there. Panels, really lovely. Finally, front wheel again, very good. Externally, barring a few very minor marks over the years, it's in beautiful condition, really is. Coming to the back now, good sized boot in the car, and nice to see this one's been fitted with the load liner. It's obviously a good sign of ownership, protects the carpeted areas. Let's come into the back now. You get to see this lovely interior. The videos do make it look brighter than it is actually. It's slightly darker. It's a beautiful interior. Given the front and the passenger side, again, all very clean and tidy. Passenger seat there, in gorgeous condition. Finally, inside the car, absolutely stunning interior, really is. See there, sat nav working exactly as it should. And coming down the centre, I maintain this is one of the best interiors you're going to get in any car. And come across the main dash binnacle. Yeah, just such a smart interior, but it's also interesting, which is a rarity. Sorry, just to show you, 62,681 miles, and there are no warning lights on the car whatsoever. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual, pack and lock and wheel nut set, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus CT200, and it's the F Sport model. Car's registered KU64RJX, with a mileage of 62,674 recorded. The reason for all of our videos, and especially the road test sections as you can see here, is to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they actually get to see the very car advertised actually in operation. The reason we feel it's important is very simple indeed. It's because, like lots of people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs or description, but then to drive the car and find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up as soon as you drive the car. We also do the road tests on these very quiet country roads in this lovely part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the hope is then that it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, very well looked after vehicle, and as soon as you get in the car, it's everything you'd expect of a Lexus. I go through all the usual things, so I'm going to start with the engine, then go through all the major functions of the car. Starting with the engine, of course, press the power button, was generally silently into life. It normally starts just in battery mode. These are what's referred to in this day and age as self-charging hybrids. So what they mean by that is, because they're trying to play on the fact that those who've experienced electric cars, and I have, will have come across the modern phenomenon of range anxiety. So basically, all you need to know about this car is it'll use its fuel. You get low on fuel, you stand at a petrol pump for about 2 minutes, top up your fuel, and you're going again. And that's it, because it's exactly like driving and owning a normal car. The clever bit is obviously the hybrid system, which is ingenious, absolutely unbelievably well engineered. Basically, as you drive along, it'll decide when it wants to go in and out of battery mode. You can select EV mode for a very short period of time. I think it's what I call a polite button. So if you're pulling out of a sort of a street, early hours in the morning, you don't want the car starting up, then you can just press that button. But that's really as much as it's for. In every other way, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. The refinement is incredible. It's quiet, it's smooth, but the power delivery is what makes these so exceptional. And this junction highlights it basically. So when you come to stop in a normal, conventional automatic car, even the best ones, you can feel them going down through the gears. And when you come to stop, they can quite often give you a bit of a clunk. This, absolutely nothing at all. Go to pull away, and it feels like an electric car pulling away. It is absolutely seamless. And when you pull that head, because it's CVT gearbox, again, no gear changes. So the whole driving experience is this almost like an elastic band of power. If you believe the buffoons that write reports on these cars on occasion, they'll talk about if you put your foot down hard, the engine will drone. Well, it will, but most people put their foot down hard once or twice in a journey at most. Maybe go on a slip road, a quick overtake. And if let's say tractor's in front now, I put my foot down hard, engine revs rise, but as you overtake, you back off the throttle and it catches up. It's for 99% of the driving, it is infinitely better than anything in its class, and it really is extraordinary. It does give you 3 modes of driving. A little button here, so if I twist it to the left, I'm in eco mode, so that highlights, it encourages sort of more economical driving, probably includes a bit more battery as well. If I press the button there, and when you start the car, it'll go into what they call normal mode. And then those 2 modes will have a kind of a blue hue behind the dashboard here. If I twist it to the right, suddenly the dashboard lights up red. I get a rev counter, whereas before I had a eco meter, sort of battery charge thing. And you can feel immediately the difference in throttle response. I love this mode because what I lose in economy, you more than make up for in sort of smile factor on the car. Incidentally, no warning lights on the dashboard at all related to the engine or any other part of the car. Part of that is from a low fuel light currently. Gearbox, obviously, as I said, CVT gearbox. Like the engine's pretty much bomb-proof. They're incredibly reliable. So coming to the steering and the chassis of the car, first and foremost, track's dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. I've always said about the CT200, and I've always loved it as a driver's car because it's quite direct. Front end on the car is really keen to change direction, and the chassis wants to do it as well. It's a kind of enthusiastic car in lots of ways. B roads, A roads, it's actually puts a smile on your face driving, and the car really, really rewards. And the steering's the main part of that because it is pretty quick. It's really nicely weighted, but it's very accurate and precise in the way it goes about its business, but also very confidence inspiring, and it works beautifully with the chassis. The chassis, as I said, it's got a lovely natural balance to it. It's keen on the front, but it still allows for I think it's it's got the right sort of ride. It's sporty but without being harsh. It's very well damped, and incidentally there's absolutely no kind of clonks or rattles at all coming from underneath the car that shouldn't be there. Brakes on the car, absolutely superb. There's no pulsing, no vibrations. They bite really, really well as well. So they're all in very, very fine order. And finally, coming inside the car, I say it in the adverts, and I really do mean it. It's one of the very few cars when you jump in actually feels quite special. Most brochures give the same old blurb for cars. They say, it's a cockpit design, it all wraps around you, and it's all this, it's all that. And then you get in them and they're just plain Janes, they just all feel the same. This doesn't. This does feel a little bit special. The driving position is brilliant. You feel sat low into the car. You do feel surrounded by the dash, but in a nice, intimate way that makes everything just feel as though your hand just will fall naturally to it. But it's the little things, it's the detailing, it's the way they've laid out certain things. You know, obviously you've got your normal sort of sat nav up there, you've got a separate climate control panel here, which you can have different temperatures side to side, by the way, and it pumps out lovely cold air. But all the buttons have that typical Japanese, beautifully engineered feel to the buttons. And then all the detailing of all the buttons down here, and I say it every video for these, it really reminds me of a, you know, high quality hi-fi from back in the 80s and 90s. That's not to say it looks old, it doesn't. It's just reminiscent of it, and it's just beautiful in its detailing. It really, really is. You've obviously got your little control here for your sort of sat nav and your information screen up there, again, all working exactly as they should. Heated seats likewise. Then you've got this beautiful little digital, no, it's also say digital display, sorry, information display for your binnacle here. It's, again, the detailing, it's very crisp to look at. You can take the information really quickly. It's not overdone. And as I said, you know, when you're in sport mode, you've got this very subtle red hue to it. It's gorgeous, it really is. Red stitching to match obviously the rose red leather, which is absolutely stunning in these cars. And the videos and photos never do it justice. They make it look too bright. It isn't. It's really tastefully done. And then you finally got this lovely leather bound steering wheel, which, you know, like the rest of the interior, is just lovely condition. These are fabulous cars, absolutely fabulous cars, and this is a particularly lovely example of which I can find absolutely no faults driving it whatsoever.